So we're going to go through the exercises that we're going to use as part of our Muscle Monday workouts. We've got 16 exercises, and those are going to get rotated through as we go through our couple weeks here of PE at home. So the first one we're going to do is real basic. It's going to be run in place, and there's going to be a time attached to it, so 10 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. So if we're running in place, we just stay in one spot. And we want our feet to get going nice and fast, and our arms are going with it. And that's our running in place, and we're going to do that for 10 seconds, maybe 15, whatever the number we send is. So this is going to be part of like our card deck workout, or our dice roll workout, or our spinner workout. We're going to have some fun for our Muscle Mondays. So we're doing our running in place. Our next one is going to be our jumping jacks. Our jumping jacks are nice and easy. Remember, we want our hands and our feet moving at the same time. So we're going to start with our hands at our sides. Our hands are going to come all the way up above our head. We don't need to clap necessarily, but if you want to, it's kind of fun. But our arms need to come up, and then they're going to come back down to our sides. At the same time, our legs are going to go out and back. We want our legs to go out at least a little bit over shoulder width. We don't just want to jump up and down and swing our arms. That's not a jumping jack. Our jumping jacks are going to look like this, so I'm going to do 5 of them. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, my arms come up over my head. My legs come out beyond shoulder width, and then back to the middle. Our next one is another jump one. It's going to be our jump squats. When we're doing our jump squats, we're going to start with our feet about shoulder width apart. Our butt's going to come low. We're going to jump up. We're going to do 5 of them in a row. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, when we come down, our arms come in. When we jump, our arms go out. The next exercise we're going to do is we're going to do our lunge. This is one we worked on in class. We're still having a little trouble with, but we're going to practice, and that's why we do this. When we do our lunge, we don't want our hands on our leg. We're going to come out. Our leg's going to make a little less than a 90. This knee's not going to touch the ground. I'm going to stand back up. I'm going to step this foot forward. Come down. Not quite to the ground, and stand back up. My hands are not on my thighs, so we don't want to see our lunges like this. Those don't count. Half lunges don't count, so if you that's not a lunge. That's just walking like a T-Rex. That doesn't count as a lunge. So remember, our lunges, we come almost all the way to the ground, and back up. Almost all the way to the ground, and back up. Our next one is going to be another lunge. It's going to be a lunge with a twist. So this is really going to help us keep from putting our hands on our legs while we do them. We're going to come down, same as we do with our lunge. We're going to twist to one side, twist to the other, and then stand up. And same thing, we're going to come down, we're going to twist to one side, and then twist to the other, and then stand back up. After our lunges with a twist, we're going to go into our air squats. So our air squats, remember, we want to get our butt nice and low, and our chest is going to stay nice and tall and proud, and our nose is going to point forward. So I'm going to sit back with the weight in my heels. I'm going to push my toes to the top of my shoes. And if my arms need to go out for balance, that's okay. My legs are a little bit farther apart than shoulder width, so I'm going to come down, and then back up, and down, and back up. So again, my butt's going to get nice and low, my chest is going to stay nice and high, and my nose is going to point forward. So when I come down, right here, my chest is up, my nose is pointing forward, and my knees are behind my toes. We talked about this in class. And then come right back up. So if I was going to do 5 of them, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something we really want to work on is keeping our knees out. We don't want to do our squats like this where our knees are coming in. We want to build good leg muscles and good hip muscles. So if we have to point our toes out just a little bit, that's okay. I'm going to come down, my knees are going to stay apart, and then back up. Okay? This is all going to help us if we keep our chest up and our nose up from bringing our knees in forward. So what we don't want to see this, no. That's not a squat. That's a good squat. After that, we have our half turn jumps. That's our next exercise. And our half turn jumps are real easy. Again, we start about shoulder width apart. I'm just gonna jump and do a 180 and land. So it's gonna look like this. When I'm doing my turns, I wanna make sure I turn towards the same wall every time. So the first turn, I'm turning to the left, and the second turn, I'm turning to the right. So I'm always facing this wall over here when I turn. So here, and then here. And that's our half turn jumps. Our next exercise is frog jumps. For our littles, our frog jumps are gonna be more like a frog. So for our K through our kindergartners through our third graders, you know, we're coming down and we're getting a good big frog jump, just like that. For our big kids, so for our fourth graders through our eighth graders, remember we worked on these in class. We put our hands out about hip height. I'm gonna bring my legs up to them. I'm not bringing my arms down. I'm bringing my legs up to my hands. And I'm gonna do 5 of those in a row. It's gonna look like this. And those are our frog jumps. After our frog jumps, we're gonna go over our push-ups, okay? We wanna try to keep our back nice and flat, nice and straight, but if you need to put your butt in the air, that's okay. What I don't wanna see is I don't wanna see our butt sagging, because that's not gonna help us. So, we get in our push-up position. Our arms, our hands are a little more than shoulder width apart. My legs are gonna come back, and they can either be together or just a little bit separate. My back is nice and flat, and I'm gonna come down and up. If you're not quite there, where this is a little hard on your abs, you can stick your butt up in the air a little bit, so not too much, but a little bit. What we wanna see in your push-ups is we wanna see you come all the way down and go all the way back up. Some things that are not push-ups. Head bobs are not push-ups. So we can't just go here and go. That's not a push-up, okay? If we can only go this far, halfway, that's all right, but we have to go more than just here. That's not a push-up. Okay, we're gonna build up that strength. We're gonna go halfway until we can get a good all the way push-up. I don't wanna see your hip sag. This doesn't count. That's not a push-up. Our butt can be up a little bit. That counts. When we're doing our push-ups, we want to work on good form, and if we're getting tired and we need to go to our knees, that's okay. When we go to our knees, the rest of the rules are still the same. Our back is going to stay straight and flat, we're going to come down, and we're going to go up. We want our arms to try to come out, sort of to the side, sort of behind us, about 45 degrees. We don't want our arms way up here, and we don't want our arms way in here. So we get our arms out there, just over shoulder width. I'm going to do them on my knees. I can kind of rock up like this. My back is still nice and straight. I come down and up and down and up. And that's going to help us build up the strength until we get to our full push-ups. From our push-ups, we're going to go into our burpees. You guys love doing burpees. Everybody loves doing burpees. When we do our burpees, remember, our feet are going to go back. We're going to do a push-up, then we're going to jump. So from the front, it's going to be up, arms to the ground, feet behind, push up, feet in, jump up. So slow motion from the side, arms to the ground, feet behind, push up, feet in, jump up. Okay? At full speed, I'm going to do 5 burpees. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And those are going to be our burpees. So I want to see good burpees in your videos. Our next one is jump ropes. Wait, really?
Go.
So our next one is jump ropes. Hopefully you all have a jump rope at home. If you don't, you can pretend. So I'm going to do it with the jump rope, and then I'll show you without the jump rope. So this is going to be good for our calves. It's going to be good for our hearts and our lungs. It's good cardio. But remember, when we do our jump rope, our arms are out to the side, our wrists are going to rotate, and that's going to bring the rope around, and we jump over it. So just little hops like this, doesn't need to be big jumps. But just little hops is plenty for your jump roping. And if you want to try to do a crossover, you can do a crossover. If you don't have a jump rope, that's okay. You can practice without it. Again, we're going to put our hands in the same position. We're going to pretend our thumbs are the rope. And we're going to rotate our hands as we go. I want to get nice, quick hops. So we're going to hop, hop, hop like we're jumping rope. And we can do it on one foot. We can do it on another foot. We can do our crossovers. And we can practice all of our things even without a jump rope. So that's our jump rope. Our next exercise is going to be windmills. Windmills are nice and easy. Our feet go a little more than shoulder width apart, and our arms come up. Right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. In between each one, we want to stand all the way up. This is going to help our lower back, and it's going to engage our core. We don't want to just lean over and go left, right. No, that's no fun. We want to stand up. So if I'm going to do 6 of them, so 3 each foot, I'm going to come down, 1, and back up. Down, 2, all the way up. 2, up, 2, up, 3, up, 3, up. So remember, when we're doing our windmills, this is our starting position and our finish position. After our windmills, we're going to talk about clamshells. So clamshells, we're going to do laying on our side. And you're going to do both left and right. So we're going to start off on our side, kind of like this, just laid out with my legs up. So my body comes down to my hips and makes a 90 degree across my thighs, and then a 90 degree down to my feet. When I do my clamshells, I can kind of hold on here and kind of lay my head down. It's okay. What I want to do is I want to bring my leg straight up like this, and then back down. So my foot's going to be up in the air a little bit. It's going to go here with my toe pointing forward, and then back down. 2, and down. My toe's still pointing up at the ceiling. 3, down. My knee is pointing at the ceiling as well. When you come up, we want our 90 degree angle to stay. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see our foot start to sag, so we're not just picking our foot up like that and letting it hang, or putting our foot up in the air. We want to see good. 1, 2, 3. Same thing on the other side. We're going to switch sides, get ourselves set up again. So again, 90 and 90. And we're going to come up. 1, 2. Toe and knee are both pointing towards the ceiling. 4 and 5. We are going to finish with our 4 core exercises, which are sit-ups, bridge-ups, planks, and supermans. So our sit-ups, like we've talked about in class, if you need somebody to help hold your feet, that's fine. But our sit-ups, we're going to come down. Our feet are there. If you can do them all with your hands behind your head, that's awesome. If you need to have your hands out a little bit for some balance, that's okay too. But remember, we're going to sit all the way up until our elbows go across our legs, and then all the way back down, and all the way up. 3, 4, 5. And again, if I need to have my hands out a little bit to help me out because I'm getting tired or because I need some help with my balance, that's okay. But my hands can be out and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And those are our sit-ups. Since we're sitting here already, we're going to do our bridge-ups next. On our bridge-ups, our feet are going to be flat on the floor. Our hands are going to be down. Our shoulders are on the floor. And we're going to bring our hips up. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. and then 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down, and 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down, and 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down, and last one is going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and those are our bridge ups. We go from our bridge ups to our planks and our Supermans. We'll start with our Supermans because those are pretty easy. We're going to be here on our knees and hands. One arm is going to go out and the opposite leg is going to go behind. So if I take my right arm out, I'm going to take my left leg back at the same time. So it's going to work on some balance and it's going to be some good core work for us. So if I'm going to do, let's say 5 on each side, it's going to be out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We want that leg out nice and high, we want that arm out nice and high. So my arm's not out here, it's up here. Not down low, up high. Same thing, my leg's not here touching the floor, it's up here. And our last one is our planks. And when we do our planks, we're going to do our planks on our forearms and our toes. Kind of like our push-ups, we want to keep our back nice and flat and straight. But if our butt needs to go in the air, that's okay. So our arms are going to be down here. I'm going to bring my feet back and together and have my back nice and flat and straight. And it might be 10 seconds, might be 30 seconds, however long it goes for. And while we build up those core muscles, if our butt needs to come up a little bit, that's okay. But I want you guys to work on having a nice flat back. We don't want to see you guys doing this. This is a salamander. We went over those in stretching. So nice and flat, and for however long the time says. That's all of our exercises that we're going to work on throughout our PE at home. We're not going to do all of them every day. We're just going to do a combination of them with each of our Muscle Monday workouts.